Leonard Williams, better known as Lenny, had a rough start. He lost his mom at just 6 years old, and with 13 siblings, he didn't make it to class. When he was 9, two teachers near rural Enfield, North Carolina, said he was too smart not to go to school.
So, get this, they walked 3 miles to teach him, and he went on to be his high school's valedictorian. He's never forgotten how much they believed in him, and now at 91 years old, he's officially retired as mayor of the city of Gibsonville after 30 years of service. Fox 8's Cassie Fambro caught up with him recently and has Lenny's story.
Well, I always liked politics.
Leonard Lenny Williams stepped down as mayor in late January, a day after his 91st birthday. We visited him at his old stomping grounds, a building named for him.
I didn't have anything to do with my name going on this building.
Inside, it was only fitting to head to the dais, to the seat he occupied as mayor of Gibsonville for 23 years. He was an alderman for 8 years before that.
I resigned on the 26th, but I feel a little bit different because you come in here for a purpose.
Williams's purpose is what drove him from the rural area near Enfield, North Carolina, where he was raised, to NCA&T University, then Farley Dickinson in New Jersey. His first career was with the IRS, which transferred him back to Greensboro.
So my wife and myself, we had the 2 children already, and so we decided, okay, we'll go. So we moved. They moved us back.
He recalled during his studies at NCA&T, staff at the historically black university warned students that some of the rural areas like Gibsonville still held some racist beliefs. He found that to be true.
Jack's barbecue discriminated. They didn't let people come.
It didn't deter him, though. In fact, he became friends with the eatery's namesake, Jack Rook, who died in 2003 at 75.
As far as I'm concerned, wasn't a better person in town than Jack.
Williamson, who grew up in the country, made a home in Gibsonville.
My teacher, my business teacher, saw me and said, "Hey, Linda, where are you living now?" I said, "Gibsonville." Why you want to go to that place? I said, every place got changed.
It wasn't long before he was recruited for the planning board and then rose in ranks to alderman and then mayor. He watched the town grow from 4,000 to 10,000, brought the town the Lynx transit system, lobbied for a $2.1 million multi-purpose center, and much more. Before he officially stepped down, he was even asked to stay.
I'm going to stay. I'll be right out there in the same house I'm in now, unless the traffic gets too heavy.
Even at 91, he still drives, much to the chagrin of his daughter Evelyn.
I told my daughter, I know you don't want me to drive, but I got to go see my friend.
His best friend died last year, and he promised to make sure to check on his wife.
I'm going next Saturday.
That sums up who Williams is and what he hopes people will remember him as.
I want them to think about me as somebody who's willing to help just about anybody. If you need some help.
Williams received North Carolina's highest civilian honor, the Order of the Longleaf Pine, in 2017 for his decades of service. He also says he's not done. In fact, he's going to talk to as many young people as he can to inspire them to go out and make a difference, even if things are rough.